All right, movie review time here on Lights, Camera, Barstool. Another Ridley Scott movie. Well, I say another like we just did another one.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done one in a year. I think almost a year, right? Literally a year. House of Gucci was like right around this time.
House of Gucci, Last Duel before that.
We'll talk about his whole filmography in a second. I think it's very relevant to... Oh, it's been 2 years. House of Gucci was 2021?
Really?
Wait, what?
No. That came out last year. Wow. What the fuck?
Paolo.
I would have actually bet if you would have said $100 right now, I would have said 2022.
I remember talking about it a lot during Oscar season of that other yeah, so now it's coming together.
Wow. Okay.
Father, son,
It's been 2 years.
House of Gucci.
House of Gucci. Oh.
Napoleon, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby. Look at the military commander's origins and his swift, ruthless climb to emperor, viewed through the prism of his addictive and often volatile relationship with his wife and one true love, Josephine. Very even on critics and audience ratings right now. 60% approval rating Rotten Tomatoes. From audiences, 61 from critics, I think, or flip it one way or the other. Surprised, because it is Ridley Scott. I liked Last Duel more the second time I saw it. I disliked House of Gucci more the second time I saw it. I would lower both those. I was higher on House of Gucci than most people. I think I enjoyed how stupid it was. It was just such a goofy ass time. And Last Duel was solid, though I didn't love, like some people loved Last Duel to like large levels, like one of the best of the year. I didn't like it quite as much. Napoleon has a lot of highs for me, but there are a lot of boring ass fucking lows. And my initial thought leaving the theater was, and I love Ridley Scott. When I look at his filmography, I was like, I love Ridley Scott movies. Definitely the twilight of his career. This is a bummer. It's a bummer. Like I think it's like perfectly okay. I gave it a 72 out of 100. I think the good is really good, and I think everything else is not bad. It's just like, It's like, all right. Yeah. It got to the point where I'm like, this. I was like, if this continues, I'm going to hate this, and then it'll do something good again.
Yeah,
it looks amazing. But yeah, initial score 72 out of 100 for Napoleon, which is I really Scott, like the expectations are there to be in like the 90s for things. So it's a bummer.
Yeah, I think I'm like if I had to consider myself like among like the ranks of his fans, like I think I'm a big time Ridley Scott defender for the most part. Like I definitely liked The Last Duel a ton. Not I'd say to like the largest extent of like best of the year or anything like that. Wasn't huge on House of Gucci. This is
most weren't.
Yeah, this one I think was a big time bummer. Mostly because it combines two things a couple things I really like, which is, Ridley Scott, war epic, and like really fascinating source material in just the life of Napoleon. And I think when it came all together, this was sort of like, I don't think anyone, like, I think everyone on board of this movie had a different interpretation of what the script was supposed to be. And you end up with like 5 different types of movies all mishmashed into one. And I didn't like really how any of it came together. And I think this movie is crippled by something I've talked about before when we talk about movies, something that I think is so unnecessary, which is just giving you a humanization of a character through their relationship to someone else. And I thought that this movie was crippled by Josephine. Every single scene where she is not there, and that is no disrespect to Vanessa Kirby, is amazing. Every scene where she is there, I'm like, this is not the same movie I'm watching in other points in this movie. And I would love this if there's 2 separate movies. If we did like, this is the Elvis versus Priscilla, you know what I mean? That would be totally fine. I think she made this movie. And again, Vanessa Kirby was amazing. Incredible performance.
Oh yeah, she was.
And this is just, it totally derailed what were some really great sequences in this movie. And I think took away from the time too. This movie needed more time, to explain shit and like put stuff in your head. Like they're talking about like, oh, this guy invaded the director. Like, I don't know what this shit is. You're going to give us something here. I don't want to have to wiki everything. And I don't know. It was just kind of a bummer. I ended up on a 65 out of 100 for this.
Yeah, I'm at 65 too. And I have a lot of the same points as you. And sometimes I'll feel smart if I can pick out stuff in a movie. But I think everyone I've talked to has kind of come away with the same conclusion. It's like, there's great stuff in here, but it just does not fit together or flow well together at all. Like the battle sequences, fantastic.
Amazing. Production value is sick.
Yeah, it
but
looks
rushed
incredible.
Through at points.
Like
and
2
like,
seconds long.
it's like
we're
supposed to believe Napoleon's this great. We'll get more into it, but like this great war tactician. And it's like, well, the war just kind of happens. He waves his arm. Don't really get into it. The lead performances, fantastic, but that doesn't really work with the battles that are going on. And then it veers off into like Death of Stalin.
You were right.
style
I saw
comedy.
your tweet before I saw the movie, and that was like a dead on comparison because there are points where it's just goofball shit.
Yeah, just
And
goofball
everyone's-
shit.
and everyone's doing their own
It's
stuff.
very
And
funny.
everyone's doing their own accents
Yeah.
and stuff, and like it is very Death of Stalin at points.
But it's like it just doesn't fit with
Yeah.
none of those three parts fit together.
Yeah.
And so you're just like it just drags. It ends up dragging forever. You feel 2 hours and 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel that 3 hours. You feel it hard. I imagine the 4 hour cut's going to be better. Like every
Yeah.
Ridley Scott project when he
Yep.
does a director's cut. But it's like if you have a good cut, just put the good cut in theaters.
Right.
Just do that. Or else people are never going to watch the good cut because they're going to be like, another hour of this? Hell no.
Kingdom of Heaven, or you end up with like every other like every Ridley Scott movie just has a better director's cut. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for the ultimate edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the acting is great. I think
Yep.
there's a lot of great acting. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix doesn't mail anything in. He's fantastic. Vanessa Kirby is great. It looks amazing.
The sets are so good.
Yeah. Incredible costume design.
See it in the biggest thing you can see it in. Like it's meant to be seen in the big screen, which is great. But it's odd that like so many come with a caveat where you're like, oh, that whole thing was great. It's like, and it's gone.
Mhm.
And it's over.
Yeah.
Like it's had such a inconsistent flow to the movie where every time I thought it was going to ramp up and do something great, it kind of just slowed down.
Mhm.
And it kind of never really hit a groove. It never felt like it really found its footing. And that was kind of the same way on the opposite end, where every time it hit something negative, I was like, I don't really love this. I was like, this is going to get bad. It kind of hit peaks again,
Mhm.
where it kind of gets you back in, and then it kind of lulls off. It's very odd the way it moves. And like, even for example, House of Gucci, or even like Last Duel, it was consistent in what it was trying to do. House of Gucci was consistent in a way that people found it off-putting.
Yeah.
And it's goofy as hell, but it never had like you were engaged and you may fucking hate it, but you were engaged with it. Where this, like, there are times where like I kind of drifted off.
I think the biggest positives, again, I would agree with you. Acting was like, I don't think there's a bad performance in it. Production value through the roof, looked amazing. Like, and I feel like we haven't gotten a movie from this era in a while that was like, at least at this scale, that looked this great. All that's fantastic. It's just, it's literally three different movies mashed into one. It is like a Death of Stalin version of this would be hilarious.
I really want that.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely hysterical.
The Joaquin Phoenix stuff when he like runs out and he's like, they're trying to kill me.
All that shit's goofy. It's very funny, and like it has that same vibe. Like that shit's all great. The war epic, I would love to see that too. And then the relationship thing, would want to see it the least out of these three. Make that its own thing too. I really think that all the good stuff in this really gets derailed by how much they focus on his relationship with Josephine, and it really is just so distracting, you know? Because like, and if that was the whole point, if the movie was just about his relationship with her, that'd be great. Or like if it was told through the lens of her versus the lens of Napoleon, great. That'd be a totally great different movie. But in this context, I think it just really, really derails a lot of what they're trying to give you, and it's frustrating.
I also think it's just too much. Like Napoleon is just too, like there's too much to Napoleon to
Yes.
do like a full on biopic. Where
It's just been
maybe
one
there
era.
should have been a mini series, or maybe you
Yeah, it
should
would
have
have been a
just,
great miniseries.
or maybe just focus on one section of his life. Like
Mhm.
focus on his campaign in Egypt, or focus on his rise, his usurping of the throne, or his
Yeah.
coup d'etat of the throne. Don't focus on his entire fucking life. Like
Yeah.
it was too. It would. Yeah, like Jeff said, it would move. It ramp up. You have like a battle, and then it would just reset.
The battle would take like 2 seconds. It's like,
yeah.
it's like you're like, oh, I'm getting into it, and like it feels like it's in fast forward. You know what I mean? And like I don't really totally like, because they're trying to show you like different movements and stuff, like show you like, oh, he's this big tactical genius and all these things, and then like it's just like, oh, now we're winning the battle and it's over. It's like,
Yeah.
that's
It's like, oh, they ran at him from the side.
yeah,
Okay, sweet.
It's just fucking, I don't know, man. It's missing. It was missing a lot of juice, or just direction, I guess, which is more on Ridley Scott than anything, and I guess editors too, but still.
I mean, look at his run. So Last Duel, House of Gucci. People liked Last Duel, but massive box office flop.
Yeah.
Did nothing.
Last duel.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
That's
mad
an
about that too. Alien Covenant.
Alien Covenant was not as good as Prometheus. I could say that comfortably.
All the Money in the World was plagued, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, that's solid.
oh, that was good.
plagued with the Kevin Spacey thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then replaced by Christopher Plummer, was fucking
Yes.
amazing in it.
Yep.
Martian was great.
Love The Martian.
Exodus, Gods and Kings.
That was a rough one.
Terrible. The
real
Counselor, I
rough
forget
one.
even did The Counselor.
Oh, that's the one with where
Counselor.
Brad Pitt gets his fucking like the bolo tie thing that like cuts his head off. That's
Fassbender's in it, Penelope Cruz,
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz, Jason Bateman.
I don't even remember that.
Wait,
movie.
no, I'm thinking.
I mean Javier Bardem, excuse me.
It's like a coke dealer thing.
Prometheus, very divisive.
I like
Oh,
Prometheus
yeah.
a lot.
Robin Hood,
Stinky.
Oof. Was that
House of Lies, American
I-
Gangster.
I like both those.
And then you get the later you get in his career, you get these fucking amazing movies. You
Yeah.
get Alien, you get Blade Runner. I love Matchstick Men, Black Hawk Down, Hannibal, Thelma and Louise.
Kingdom of Heaven director's cut.
Yeah,
All-time great
you are
movie.
the number one Kingdom of Heaven director's cut guy.
Great movie. Great
Yeah.
movie director's cut.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
You expect more. It's not a. I don't know. It's just like I wish he'd do other stuff. There's other things that I wish Ridley Scott would explore that he's very good at. I want to go back to space.
Yeah.
he
I like
was
The
a great
Martian.
space
He has a
director.
great handle. Great. Really great
Yeah.
sci-fi. Really good space sci-fi movie. The Martian. I mean, he's obviously Alien. Like
He could do war epics too. He did fucking Gladiator. Like he does this, and again, Kingdom of Heaven. Like he can do this,
This
shit
one,
well.
the
It's just
focus
this was-
wasn't. Yeah, weird.
Like if Gladiator was like all about the fucking queen instead of it being about Maximus Decimus Meridius, whatever the fuck his name is, like it would suck. And like it's just like you need to laser in on what people are interested in seeing. And all due respect to Josephine Bonaparte, no one gives a fuck about her.
No.
No, and
is-
her in those low cut dresses, man.
Dude,
I was
nobody
interested.
gives a
Oh, right. Well,
rat's.
the pervy crowd is different.
We're here to see Napoleon Bonaparte, bro. Like, and if he's a big fucking simp for this lady, great.
Make
No
the
one cares
Josephine
about
movie.
that. Yeah, make
Yeah,
a
make-
Josephine
make
movie,
the
and everyone will go
Can we-
see that.
Can we talk about just all the funny stuff in this movie? Can we go ahead?
Very
and run
funny.
through it? Like just
His whole takeover is hysterical.
yeah, the takeover. Like I found the crown of France in the gutter. I
Mm.
picked it up with the tip of my sword and
Mm.
placed it on my head. And he
Mm.
doesn't use a British accent, but
Yeah.
yeah, that his letters when he's writing those letters to Josephine, me and this like I guess he was an NY student sitting next to me. He's like 19 years old. We were just cracking up. Such a cuck. Like, he's
Mm.
like, "There's no snakes in your bed, are there?"
It's and that's why Joaquin Phoenix is so great at what he does. Like he can deliver every side of that.
Yeah.
And he's great. And it's very funny. But like, again, there's a lack of focus on one thing here where it kind of, it needs to be longer. It needs to be maybe broken down a different way. The miniseries might have been good. It crams so much. You don't spend enough time on certain things to really let it sit and develop as something great.
Yeah. And just pick a tone, dude. Like goofy, dramatics, like big, giant scope war epic. Like pick something. Because I feel like that also undermines it a lot. Because you see him being this fucking goofball loser and then like also being all these other things, and it's like you're supposed to be able to believe he's this big magnanimous character that everyone loves, and it's like it even if that's what he was in real life, you kind of undermine it a little bit, you know, and that's kind of a bummer. And it sucks because like for Joaquin Phoenix too, this is a good performance for him. Think about how good Ridley Scott directed him in Gladiator. Like that's one of the all-time great performances ever. And if you were to even get like, and that's someone think about it this way too, like Napoleon modeled himself after like a Roman emperor, which is what literally he played in Gladiator, and like he couldn't channel any of that through this performance. He made him into like this fucking loser dude. If that's what Napoleon was, fine. That's just not good entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that's what Napoleon was. I mean, he took over all of Europe. Like,
yeah.
I don't think he could be that big of a
If
loser.
you want to make him like this personal life loser that just happened to everyone be like this gung ho over about in France, like it's just I don't know. That needed to be more entertaining of a movie, or at least more laser focused.
So Napoleon doesn't totally hit. We've ruined some more stuff coming up. Saltburn, the Holdover. Saltburn's a crazy fucking movie. Holdover's not crazy, but good, but not crazy. Saltburn is crazy.
Yeah,
Saltburn is going to be.
Some people are going to fucking hate that movie.
Oh, I already know.
But that's fine. I would assume that there's an intention there to have a out there reaction.
Yeah,
put it that way. That's it. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop your comment below what your score would be for Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix from director Ridley Scott. That's it for our review of Napoleon. For Ken, Jack, and Gooch, I'm Jeff Elo. We'll talk to you next time.